Welcome back to 90-minute Drag Race episodes. I'm Anna Rumor with Pop Culture.
And I'm Nick Valdez from comicbook.com.
And this is Dragged, where we offer up our unfiltered opinions about RuPaul's Drag Race. Because, did I mention we're back to 90-minute episodes? Thank God. Just in time, we're going in on episode 11 of season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We're seeing if these girls are funny, and we are freeing Willie. Nick, what did you think of this week's episode?
I mean, daylight savings time stole the hour from us, but karmically, the universe was like, here, you can have some of it back. You can have your 90-minute RuPaul episodes. And what a time to get it, right? Like, we suddenly had, like, the literal biggest episode I think we've had all season. Like, there's so much happened.
And I loved having a mini challenge back this week. We have this, like, Vogue ball, and it's just the girls, like, having a good time. Sasha slayed it. Anitra won it. Don't tell Aja. But it was just fun. They were all having a good time. The stakes were low. I loved it.
Yes, thank you. This is why we need the 90s. Thank you.
Yes, just a little breathing room. Just let us enjoy these girls. Dang. We're heading into the comedy challenge, the stand-up comedy challenge, which I didn't really enjoy as much as I enjoyed the mini challenge. Oh, I don't know. Nick, what did you think, like, overall about how everyone did?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I was worried coming in to talk to you about this because, I was like, oh, this is going to be a week where we disagree on some things, but...
Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see. So we started off with Marsha solo as the opener. And wow, for someone who's like weaponizing their BFA, I didn't think she was funny. What was she even talking about? It was like a lukewarm one-woman show about her makeup. I don't know.
Yeah, she's got a very dry humor. And unfortunately, it's not fit for this kind of challenge, as, dry humor jokes aren't really jokes. They're like wry observations, and even then, that's stretching it, So it was a tough one, but it's probably best that she did get in and get out really quickly because, maybe a later placement would have hurt her.
Up next, we had Lux and Lucy. And I thought, were the best of the two, but I still didn't think they were funny. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and it's a shame, too, because Lucy's look for this challenge was, I think, one of, her best looks.
I know. Really whipping them out at weird times, Lucy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's cinched, she's looking spectacular, and the jokes were, subpar. I've got a thing about race jokes. If you're going to do them, tell them well. But, the audience seemed to like it. And I guess, that's what's important here.
For me, it honestly was I'm giving them credit for writing jokes. And that is where the bar is on the ground. I was like, okay, they had a setup, they had a punchline, they had a theme, and they spouted it off without stumbling over their words too much, A+. And that's not where you want to be with a comedy challenge. But that is where we were, unfortunately.
It's better that you can say for Sasha and Anitra, who,
what were they doing?
I don't know. It seemed like a good pairing, right? But but seeing it, and, Sasha's gone full, I'm doing a Vegas show. This is my 40th year doing it. I do it every night. Look. And, the look itself didn't work for her, I will say. No. I don't know what was going on with the wig.
The back was
yes. And that's what I mean. If she was going for that look, cool. You did it. You did your canned bits. But it was a rough one. That one was painful. If you're talking about pain.
See, this is why Lux and Lucy get an A+, because I was watching this and I was just thinking to myself, at least they're pretty. Sasha did better than Anitra. That's saying, again, bar is on the ground. She had to do better than someone. And I get that Anitra had a migraine, and that sucks, honestly. But, there just wasn't anything that they were working with, and their delivery was weird and bad. And tough. Moving on, Mistress and Selena, also bad.
Yeah, that one was the biggest disappointment to me because, you know, they're both such big personalities who have like tons of humor just in regular life, right?
Yes.
But to just, I don't even know what the, like, they're just telling stories about their escapades and, you know, not necessarily funny stories.
That for me was the weirdest choice because they're both such natural comedians that for them to be like, actually, we're just not going to tell jokes. We're each going to tell a story that's not that interesting was weird. I don't know why they went that direction, and it really came back to bite them because it just wasn't funny. I don't know. It was bad. I was wondering, is Mistress kind of plateauing? Unfortunately, because I love her. You know, she's been like my pick to win since early on, but man, she's struggled recently with things that she should have been good at.
Yeah, I agree. Like, before this episode and before last week, I was like, oh, Mistress top 4, easily. But now it's looking a little complicated, right? Like, she's starting to stumble right at the finish line here.
Let's get into the runway. The theme is Rip Her to Shreds. And first up, we've got Marcia, who comes out, unfortunately, doing the runner-up in a pageant look. The second one that we've seen in 2 weeks, which is just really an unfortunate roll of the die. I think the look would have been okay if we hadn't literally seen it last week on Lucy and before with, you know, Trixie and Pearl. It's just, you know, it's kind of a played out trope. I feel like unless you're going to do something really interesting and new with it, I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, I think she did the better of between her and Lucy. Maybe, you know, because at least the concept came through fully. You know, like our big critique with Lucy's version of it was that she didn't look beat up enough. Yeah. And, you know, at least Marcia did go full beat up and like torn to shreds. But it's still, when you're coming after Lucy, it's like, oh, you know, it puts you in that costume mindset, and that's not where you want to be.
In what world do we live now that Marcia had more makeup on than Lucy? Well, speaking of Lucy, we've got her up next as like the Babadook's bride. I liked everything but the makeup on this.
See, I was the same way. I was wondering what you were going to think about this because it looked. So it's a very dingy look, like I get it, you know, very Ghost in the Attic type look, but it was the face, like just, it was just like a standard ghoul face, and for some reason that I don't think it connected with the rest of the look.
No, because I did really like the rest of the look. It was very like Victorian, kind of spooky ooky. I was enjoying that. And then you got to the face where like the white was patchy. It should have been contoured with some kind of like black or dark brown. The eyes and it looked like Halloween costume makeup that was applied by someone who doesn't know how to do makeup, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's why I keep saying Lucy's so costumey. I hate to just put it like that, but she's yet to prove me wrong.
Well, next up we had Luxx, who did this really cool like RuPaul inspired look from the 80s. I liked this. My only critique was RuPaul's look was cooler, and it's tough to do a recreation when the original look is better. I don't know. Yeah,
like my first thought was, I didn't know we were ripping off. You know? So I didn't immediately connect this is a ripper to shreds, but yes, and that's the thing. It's when you recreate a RuPaul look and it's not necessarily, you know, the RuPaul Ball Week or anything like that, like you start to look at it a little more critically, right? And that's the thing. It just wasn't as good. And if you want to stack yourself against RuPaul, that's probably not the best move.
Right. And for me, I love Luxx. Everything she's worn on the runway has been amazing. I would love to see a look from her one week that doesn't have such a direct inspiration. I know that drag can take, you know, looks off the runway and it contributes to what's on the runway. It's kind of this cycle. But I just want to see a little bit of variety from her. Just once, I would love to see something that's kind of an original look that has no direct fashion ties. Just to see that she can do it.
She's clearly someone who studied not only all 14 other seasons of Drag Race, but clearly everything ever. So, you know, that's probably hard to like find her unique voice in the middle of all that. And she's had it. We've seen it before. It's just this look in particular wasn't there. It just wasn't it.
Next up, though, we had the best look of maybe the whole season, and I'm not being dramatic. Sasha Colby comes out in this denim and diamonds ripped look. I've never seen anything so cool in my life until later in the episode, but we'll talk about that. She is a goddess. She looked amazing. This was such a cool idea. She pulled it off perfectly. I loved her like denim headscarf. That hair color on her, come on.
When she came out and like kind of ripped that lower piece off and kind of moved it, I was like, oh, here we are.
Yes, oh my gosh. She just knows how to walk that runway. Everything she wears on it is just like the coolest thing I've ever seen. I say it every week, but she continues to look so cool every week.
I mean, yeah, like she keeps proving it, right? Like we heap all of this praise on her. Everyone heaps all of this praise on her, but she matches it. Like she makes sure we understand why she's Sasha Colby and why we refer to her by both names. You know, it's like
and why Beyonce was inspired by her. You know, it all makes sense now. And then we had Anitra come out, and she had this cute little like catsuit number. It's very Anitra, but I do feel like, you know, this is just kind of what Anitra looks like every week. And she's super hot, and I love her, but, you know, I would love to see something a little different.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, oh, we've seen, it's the same thing we kind of harped on Malaysia for. Like, we've seen so many pink and white Malaysia looks, but in Anitra, we've seen a lot of these bodysuits. Yeah. And, you know, she looks great in them. Of course, you got the body, show it off. Absolutely, right? But here it just didn't quite make the ripping didn't really connect with me. Like it didn't read like ripping because it was like the pink and the black over it. And, you know, when you compare it to, like, when you're coming after Sasha, right?
Honestly, that's the tough part. It's just the placement in the runways.
It's a fun look. She looks good, but also it's just like, this wasn't it this week.
And speaking of not it this week, we have Selena, who, it's tough because anytime a Drag Race performer brings like this story or something that's a part of them to their runway look, I really want to like it. And she's telling the story about like this woman who's fleeing for like a better life across the border, but I didn't like the look. It just didn't really translate. I wouldn't have known what that was just looking at it at all.
Oh, yeah. So as someone who could speak to that story, you know, so as it did not connect. So as I can back you up and say this also didn't work. First of all, she comes after Lucy. Here's another queen who's like adopting a Lucy look. Like I mean, she was like she didn't go ghoul face or anything like that. But I was in my head. I was already thinking dingy. I was already in that headspace. And when she comes out in that look and it looks tattered and beat up, I was. You know, it's missing that bit of color. I believe guest judge Ali Wong noted that, you know, the blanket around her should have been used as the main motif of the outfit. And that's what it was. Selena was missing that color. She was missing that bit of like personality outside of it just kind of being like a tattered rag, unfortunately. And, you know, for as good as the, you know, unfortunately, as good as the story was, as good as the inspiration was, it just did not land.
And then finally we have Mistress, who comes out in this kind of like burnt Marilyn Monroe housewife look, which I thought was absolutely fabulous. You know, I liked it. It could have been better, but I liked it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I thought it was super cute. What a fun concept. You know, if you looked at the smaller details, you can see where she incorporated like flames and stuff like that. But I kind of wish it was longer. If she went full gown, so we can see like even more grandiose burn details to go even bigger with it, I think it would have clicked harder. But here, it's solid. Like, it's solid enough for now.
Yes, thank you for reading my mind, because that's what I was like. I just want a little bit more. I can't tell what it is, but that's it. It needs to be longer. I need more of it. You're right. So when we get to the judging for this week, understandably, Lucy and Lux both win. They were the only ones who even tried to write jokes, so I was in full agreement with that. And then for our bottoms, we have Marcia and Anetra. What did you think about that?
Unfortunately, I did agree. I probably would have put Selena there. Maybe.
Interesting.
Selena, I didn't like her story. I didn't like her look.
I would have put Sasha there if she hadn't redeemed herself on the runway. But yeah, tough all around. Tough to choose bottoms this week, unfortunately. But luckily, we did get Marcia and Anetra because we get maybe the best lip sync in years. Boss B by Doja Cat.
I know. All you do is just kind of make noises, right? Like, I cannot be coherent about this. This was Anetra, like, oh my god, even if you don't win this, you've won this. You've won season 15 of Drag Race. Congratulations, Anetra. I can't believe you did it. Like, you did it. Like, oh my god.
Insane. The leaping over the back bend, Marcia got ate up, but Marcia did a really good job. That's how you know this was an amazing lip sync. Every moment was amazing. What am I even to say about it? Anetra has such stage presence, such awareness, such fluidity with her body. It's not like the Sorry Not Sorry lip sync, which is still very good, that's just stunt, stunt, stunt. She put on a full pop star show for us in those 2 minutes, and it was just so fun to watch.
Yeah, this is another case of someone clearly holding back, playing cards close to their chest and waiting for the right time to do it, and Anetra did it. And this was also one of those weeks where I was very surprised we didn't get a double Shantae, maybe it's the scheduling, maybe it's new network stuff, maybe, who knows what's going on there. But, just like last week, I thought it was going to be a double send home. This one was the week to keep them both. Marcia hung in there. That's the thing. She wasn't completely eaten up either. I was really enjoying Marcia's. And so, but Anetra, it's how do you compete?
That's the thing. Marcia did a great job, but I did have to watch it 3 times to watch Marcia because I was so glued to Anetra. She is just so charismatic too. I'm drawn to her. She's just a star.
Is her tailbone okay? Yeah, there was
dissolved.
Something.
Dust. What a high note to go out on. Obviously, Anetra stays, Marcia goes home. And honestly, it's maybe for the best for everyone else, because next week we've got the Rusical, right?
So, what? That is criminal.
I think we can't have Marcia around and she's gonna kill that Rusical. We gotta get rid of her now. Anetra, come in.
I cannot believe it. I was shocked. This is just, what horrible timing for Marcia. That probably would have been the time when we finally see, everything Marcia has to offer. I'm sorry, maybe All Stars.
On All Stars. I can't wait to see her on All Stars, yeah. And I can't wait to see you all next week when we talk more about Dragged, and we'll talk all about the Rusical. It's always something to see. So until next time, have a good week.